Hey logo legends, welcome to another video. So in case you haven't heard, Apple is expected to launch their spring event on April 20, 2021, in which new Macs and iPads are rumored to be launched. But wait, we're not here to talk about the rumors, we're here to discuss the design of the Apple spring event logo. Now, something I've always admired about Apple is that they like to do these unique illustrations or logo designs for their main events. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to explore the design of the Apple Spring event logo. Ready? Let's begin. Okay, so I've already got the file set up here in Illustrator. Already went ahead and grabbed the picture from the internet. Should be perfectly fine to do, seeing that we're just using this for educational purposes and not trying to sell the design. Also, in case you're wondering why the image looks this way at this point, well, in the normal preview of Illustrator, JPEGs tend to show a bit jagged, but if you should switch to the pixel preview, then it would look normal as how you would see it on the internet. Alright, let's just do a little analysis of the logo before we begin. It consists of a stroke, right? Strokes that the weights have been slightly adjusted, and there's a gradient applied along the stroke. Okay, so to begin, we're just gonna go ahead and lock the image, Command 2 or Control 2 if you're on Windows. And I'm not liking this white background, so I'm gonna go ahead and do something about that. Grab the rectangle tool, fill it out, and select a very dark gray. And then I'm gonna send this backwards, Shift Command left bracket, and then I'm gonna go ahead and lock the image again using Command 2. Alright, so to begin, we're gonna go ahead and trace over the logo. So we're gonna trace in the middle, right? Because what we'll be doing is using strokes to start the logo off. All right, so that's a fill right there. I'm gonna hit Shift X. That will bring it to the stroke. At this point, I'm not really worrying about getting everything perfect right here, because I can always go over again with the direct selection tool and just make sure the curves are correct. But if I want to quickly adjust the anchor part or curve, you can hit the Command key, and I think it would be the Control key on Windows, and just hold it down and move the anchor point, still keeping that Command key pressed. Release it, and then you can just draw again with the pen tool. So the Command key quickly switches to the direct selection tool, so you can just quickly make your adjustments along the way. Alright, so why I'm tracing in the middle is that I want to, when I'm done, I'm just gonna increase the weight of the stroke so that it matches or comes close to matching the weight of the original design. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the A for the direct selection tool. I'm just gonna adjust my handles right there, trying to get close to the original curve as best as possible. I'm not really aiming for perfection. This tutorial is not about getting it perfect, but getting it near perfect. Right? Just to show you the fundamentals of how whoever designed this achieved this design. All right, so no nitpicking, guys. If you're a grandmaster nitpicker, Today is not the day for it. We don't want this tutorial going hours. All right, so if you want, you can also use the arrow keys on your keyboard to make like minute adjustments to the position of, for the position of the anchor points. All right, and if you hold on shift while using the arrow key, it moves it a little further. Struggling to find the anchor point right there, but no worries, I got this. All right, so looking good right there. I'm gonna go ahead to the leaf aspect of this logo. I'm gonna do the same thing again. And on a side note, guys, in case you're wondering, like, how do I know where to like put the anchor points? There's this awesome designer. Her name is Jessica Hish. It was her tutorial that taught me where to place anchor points when using the pen tool. Because you see, the less points you use, the better the curve will be. So try and keep the anchor points as minimum as possible when using the pen tool, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and select the strokes, increase the weights. All right, right around there looks good. And then I'm going to change the cap to a round cap, right? So you see right there, it matches what the original has. Okay, there we go. I'm not worrying about the weights right now, and you see later why. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and change the color of the strokes here to white, and then I'm gonna bring it over here for now. Right, so next we're going to apply the gradient to the stroke. There are two ways you can do this. There's the easy way and there's the not so easy way. So the not so easy way would be to select the stroke, then come over to the gradient panel and insert the thingies here one by one. But that's not what we're gonna do today. We're going to head on over to the stroke panel. So hidden in the, no, not the stroke panel, in the fill panel. Hidden in the fill panel, there are hidden gradients, hidden swatches. So if you open the swatch library and then come over to gradients and then spectrum, you'll find the rainbow spectrum for this logo. Just gonna select it one time, you can close the spectrum panel. All right, so right now it's not looking too close to the original. We're gonna do something about that. We're gonna go over to the gradients panel again, and you're going to click apply gradient along stroke. All right, so we're getting somewhere. Now we're going to reverse. We're going to reverse the gradient so that it matches more of what's going on the left hand side here. All right, so if you notice, or if you haven't noticed, the the way how the stroke, the curves overlap, right? Mine is the reverse. So in case you're freaking out now, guys, relax. I got you. I got you. We're gonna fix this. You can just quickly solve this problem by selecting the stroke, head on over to Object, Path, Reverse Path Direction, and that would fix the how the curve overlaps. All right, but as you can see, what this also does is switch around the direction of the gradient. So we're just gonna go ahead and reverse it again. All right, so now that is complete, we can go ahead and adjust the width. So why I didn't do it earlier is that if I had adjusted the width anytime earlier, then that width would also have been reversed, and then I would have to do it a second time. So to save time in this tutorial, I'm just going to do it after I apply the gradient. All right. So I'm basically eyeballing it here, guys. You know, you can always bring over back the design over to the original and adjust the weight right there. But as I said, remember the goal of this tutorial is not perfection, it's just to show you the steps in achieving the design. All right, so for the leaf gradient, we're not gonna go back into the stroke, into the fill panel, sorry. We're going to just quickly create it, and we can do that by just hitting the I key for the color picker and selecting the color here and saving the swatch here. All right. So on a side note, guys, if you hit the I key and you head over to the JPEG image and it's not selecting the color, well, the reason for that would be if you hit enter on your eyedropper while having your eyedropper selected, you see this panel come up. If the color didn't select right away, it's because appearance and transparency are ticked on both sides right here. And once they're ticked, then you would have to hold on the shift key to select color from JPEG images. So a guy named Scott on Stack Exchange, he's the one who helped me solve that problem before recording this tutorial. Thanks a lot, Scott. You saved me like 2 hours of figuring that out myself. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and create the gradient for the leaf using the colors that we selected. All right, so all right, it's not looking too good right now, but we can go ahead and adjust. Just double click on the color right there, head on over, make sure that you're on the hue, saturation, and value black slider, and then you can just quickly darken it. So I'm not sure why it didn't like give me the original value that we're seeing there. And then we can just apply it along stroke, just like what we did before with the other one, just to get it close to the original. So here we have again where the stroke overlaps incorrectly. All right, so we're gonna select it again. We're gonna head on over to Object Path, Reverse Path Direction. All right, we're gonna switch the gradient around again, and I'm gonna zoom in right here. go for the width tool, Shift W, that's the shortcut for it. I'm just gonna adjust the width right on the anchor point here. Let me see how that's looking. All right, so far so good. So we have a problem right here. This anchor point, the shape right here, it's pointed. We can just fix that by selecting the stroke. Head on over to the stroke panel, head on over to corners, and then select round joint. And that fixes our problem right there. Okay guys, so far so good. I'm just gonna adjust the gradients. All right, so if you notice on my logo that I have on the right side, the colors are very saturated. So to quickly fix that problem, we're just gonna select the stroke, head on over to the edit, and then edit colors and saturate. Hit preview, and then I'm gonna desaturate the colors. This is just to quickly match what we're having on the left side. And then once I'm done, I can just resaturate whichever colors I want, right? Because in my analysis of what I'm seeing on the left side, some colors are more saturated than others. All right, so let's start off with the green. As you notice, the original logo, the green is a bit more to the yellow side. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that. Oops. Let's select the stroke. Adjust the value. And just desaturate a little bit. All right. My pink right here, it's looking a little too saturated, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fix that as well. Desaturate. All right, so far so good. What about the purple here? It's looking a little bit darker. It's looking a little bit darker. All right, right around there should be good. Just the color a little bit. Just pull this back. And yeah, their blue is looking less saturated and more towards the purple side. Let me just move that over so you guys can see it. Still need to go over a little bit more. All right. So far so good, guys. All right, so there's a like a really dark blue here. You can just go in and add that color if you want. Once you like click in the blank part of the gradient side here, you can just add a next color and make your adjustments. So I don't know if the designer used the same swatch like how I showed you that it can be done, but as you can see, some colors were definitely added in there. to make it more unique. So I'm just gonna get in the deep red right there. All right. Okay, okay. I think that's about it. That's about it, guys. Go ahead and remove the background. Okay, so we're about done here. As I said, in your own time, you can perfect this as you like. The goal of this video was just to give you an idea of how someone in the design team would achieve a logo like this. So that's it, guys. Thank you for sticking around till the end of this video. If you have any further questions in Illustrator on this design, you can let me know in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know if you learned something today. Okay, subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye bye.